You're tuned in for a special broadcast from the NMI News Service. It is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, NMPASI. You're now tuned in for Advocacy Amplified, the NMPASI podcast.
Hi, how's everyone doing this afternoon? I hope everyone had a really great lunch this afternoon. We're live today, Tuesday afternoon. It's about almost 2:15, so I guess everyone's slowly clocking back in for lunch. We had a really great lunch today in our office. So before we start, I just want to say thank you so much to Mr. Brad for allowing us to share a little bit of some information that we are doing in our office. So for all of you who are unaware about what we do, we're NMPASI. We stand for the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, Inc. I know that's such a mouthful, but otherwise we're better off known as NMPASI. So a quick spiel about what we do. So we're a nonprofit organization where we advocate on behalf of individuals with disabilities, whether they're facing barriers here within the CNMI when it comes to service, or whether they're being discriminated against. So in today's first episode, we kind of did an episode before, but for the new fiscal year, we found it as a really great opportunity to partner with Brad with all his fancy equipment because, in today's day and age, I feel like technology is advancing faster than us. So what better way to partner with Brad to share the stuff that we do here in the CNMI. So for today's first episode, we kind of find it very interesting. Our first topic that we're gonna talk about. We're all very aware that voting season is just right around the corner. So what better way to talk about your rights as a person when it comes to voting? And joining me here today, I have Tiavato Mata and our executive director, Mr. Gregory Borja. So I'm a project specialist. I'm responsible for all of the outreach that I do in our office, whether it comes to spreading awareness about the programs and services that we do, and also advocating on behalf of individuals with disabilities. So I'm just gonna hand the mic to Tiava to give her a little bit of a introduction on herself. It's not always about me.
Interesting enough, you didn't even mention your name, Josh.
Well, I guess I'm just very nervous because this is our first time, for our first episode with Mr. Brad.
So that is Josh. We are both project specialists at NMPASI. So one of our roles include conducting community outreach and training. And one form of outreach that Josh and I were brainstorming early on in the year was to reach a wider scope of our community. And this can be our community members in Tinian, in Rhoda, those that are home for various reasons, unable to attend our outreach, our public outreach, and our trainings. So we thought about how popular podcasts has become. And like Josh said, technology is just constantly advancing. And we are perhaps a bit nervous because we just had a owl camera and our laptop.
Laptop.
Yeah, for our first 3 episodes, actually. So we are very happy to be in a professional setting, reaching a wider audience this time around. And like Josh said, we are focusing on voting. Today actually marks day 1 of early voting, and election day is next week, Tuesday, November 5th. So it is coming up very, very quickly. A new program that has been implemented in our office the past fiscal year and has continued on is our Protection and Advocacy for Voting Access, or otherwise known as our PAVA program. And with us today, we have our executive director again, Mr. Greg Borja, who'll talk a little bit about how we acquired the program, what the program means to our community, and what are some efforts and trainings and outreaches we have done in regards to the PAVA program. So I'll pass it on to Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
All right. Thanks, guys. Interesting enough, we receive our PAVA funding from what's known as the Help America Vote Act. This was a law put into place back in 2002 throughout the nation, and it basically was helping ensure that all Americans have an access to vote. The thing is that because we're out here and we don't vote for president, we were left out of the funding for basically 20 years. Thankfully, we have a partner through the senator from New Mexico, Senator Lujan, who not only with the NMPASI, but with the American Indian Consortium Protection Advocacy System, we were both left out of this funding, and it's a funding source that will help our people in our communities have access to voting. And so in 2021, he introduced a Senate bill, and it was passed in 2022, and then boom, 2023, we started receiving funding. So this is the 9th program that NMPASI is going to be administering. It comes out to roughly $56,000 a year that we receive. And the purpose of the funding is to train poll workers on how to work and relate with people with disabilities that come in to cast their vote. It's also about distributing resources on what accessible voting is all about, what assistance is available to you as a voter with a disability. And then finally, it's also about ensuring that our polling places are accessible, right? And so these are some major areas that the grant itself covers, and it's the work that we've been doing the last couple of months. Myself and our program manager, Elsie Tillipal, we have been working with the poll workers. They had their poll worker training last month, and we talked to them about like how to talk to and work with people with disabilities who do come in and ask for assistance, you know. And so I think it's really eye-opening because we give some nice examples to them on how to work with folks with disabilities, you know, to ensure that you're using correct language. If you're talking to someone that's using a wheelchair, bring yourself down to their eye level, you know, just some simple things like that that we really don't think about a lot of times when we're working with different types of folks. Yeah. And so other things that we've been doing is we did provide prepare a new brochure, right? Yes. About like what the laws that we have here locally, federally, that protect voters with disabilities, you know, in terms of that voter access, curbside voting, the rights, again, to an accessible polling place. We have been out to the polling places themselves to ensure that they are accessible. I always say we're very thankful that out here in the CNMI, you know, we use our schools, right?
Yeah, especially the schools.
Yeah, because, you know, we have our students with disabilities there, and so the schools themselves must be accessible. You know, that's part of their funding as well. And so it's very helpful working with, you know, our collaboration that we've had with the Commonwealth Election Commission. They've been doing a great job. I really want to thank their executive director, Kayla Egatol, for the work that she was doing in terms of, you know, bringing us in to talk to all the poll workers that came through on Saipan. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make it down to Tinian and Rhoda, but they used our same presentation, right? So that way the poll workers there know what's going on. And part of the collaboration with the Election Commission that I think is going to be great coming up on at least November 5th is that we will have some of our staff, you know, so depending on, you know, where we decide tomorrow that everyone's going to be, you might go to a polling place, let's say at Dandan Middle School, and boom, you're going to see Tiava standing out there, might hand you a brochure that says these are your rights as a voter with a disability. You know, if you need assistance, because, you know, you can ask somebody of your choosing, you know, to come in and assist you, and you could grab one of our NMPASI staff that are out there. We will be armed with some Election Commission IDs.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm still working on that to make sure we get them before the week's end. But yeah, it's going to be some exciting stuff. We also partnered up with the National Disability Rights Network, our national affiliate. They produced a documentary, right, called Accessing
Democracy.
Yeah, what did you think about that?
I thought it was really good. It was very eye-opening, you know, getting that individual's perspective, because this individual in that particular video that Greg was talking about, she's a disabled black woman named Monica Wiley. And we found it very interesting because it was like a really great project where she went around and asked different individuals with disabilities in regards to some specific experiences that they went through when it came to voting. And it was just very eye-opening, you know, giving them their, asking about what they want in their next commander-in-chief, because we also know that, you know, there's that, that voting too of electing a new president in the States. So it's very interesting, and we're just trying to have it applied here as well, because voting season is just next week. So I thought it was very nice. And some projects that we did is, I believe, September, was it 15 or 16?
21st.
Or
Yeah,
September
21st.
September 21st. So September 21st was, we partnered with the American Memorial Park. We spoke to some of the staff members utilizing their amphitheater. So we took that as an opportunity to air that specific video, and, you know, we posted it to the public. It was free to anyone to attend if you just kind of wanted to know what the whole entire video was about. And we had pretty great outcomes for that too. So we've also spread out another day for us to air that video. I believe that was on October 18. I got that correct. October 18. So we gave the public, an opportunity 2 times to come on down to American Memorial Park and see what the video was about. We also aired the video in one of the aging centers down in Tinian and Rhoda, because as part of Project Specialist Me and Tiava, we fly down on a quarterly basis to our sister islands, Tinian and Rhoda. And whatever work that we're doing here in the Sinamay, we kind of want to share it there too in Tinian and Rhoda. So we found it very interesting, We gained a lot of questions about individuals asking about specific voting rights. And we've been getting a lot of calls in the office too, right?
Yes, an influx of calls just asking, am I able to request for a ballot if I'm unable to leave my house for various health reasons, or can I avail of curbside voting? What's the process? And a lot of the Manamkus that we spoke to in Tinian and Rhoda shared their good experience with voting in the previous years, that they are very accommodating down there. Little to no issues, which is a good thing. But also we want to encourage those that may have experienced issues in the past or are unsure about your rights to vote to reach out to NMPASI. We're here, and like Greg said, we're going to be there on the actual election day at different sites, and maybe make time this week to visit the multi-purpose center, because it is, again, early voting starts today, and it's going to be throughout the week until Monday, 8:30 to 4, I believe, and inclusive of weekends and the upcoming holiday. Another project that we worked on, again in collaboration with NMI News Service, was producing our updated voting rights commercial. So if you'd like to take a glance at that, we will cue it up. Brad has it ready for us, and we'll show you the updated 2024 NMPASI voting rights commercial.
Yeah, it was a really great video.
If you're a person with a disability in the Sinamay, you have